Do you have that on the screen now, Mr. Resniewski?
Yes, I do.
There's a note at the top of the page, BSCM, and then something I can't quite read. Could you read that, please?
Craig W.
Right. Is that a Mr. Winter?
Correct.
There was a reference to hours. That was the reference to the 36-hour week, giving a rostered day off every 2 weeks, was it?
Well, it's probably a more general reference to the calendar.
Subbies, pattern CA, what's that?
The pattern certified agreement.
Right. And then, can you read the next entry beside the fourth bullet point, please?
Non-working stewards.
Yeah. What is that a reference to?
That was, well, so the first points relate to positions I put to the meeting, and then I drew on a line, and then then the next section records what Mr. Shorten put to me. So,
what did you mean by non-working stewards?
So what I meant by that was that we didn't want to have any non-working stewards on the project.
That was a core demand of the CFMEU, was it not?
It was a core position that the joint venture put to all the unions, that we wouldn't accept non-working stewards on the project.
Except that, but I'm saying it was a core demand or requirement generally of the CFMEU. The expectation was that that was what the CFMEU would demand.
Well, to be precise, they were demanding that there be non-working stewards.
Be non-working stewards.
The CFMEU wanted there to be non-working stewards. The witness is saying that was, if you like, a core point of opposition.
Yes. Is that a fair
That's
assessment?
Correct. That's correct.
Yep. So what was being made plain was that there were going to be no stewards or organisers on the job who were non-working.
No, that didn't relate to organisers.
Okay. Just what, shop stewards?
So there weren't going to be any shop stewards on the job that were non-working. So the employee representatives had to be employed working in a job such as, you know, a labourer or a truck driver or whatever their normal day job was, and it was their part-time responsibility to fill their obligations as an employee representative.
But the distinction you're making is between a shop steward and an organiser here.
Shop steward is employed by the company, organiser is employed by the union.
Right. Organiser is employed by the company?
No.
Sorry?
Organisers employed by the union.
Yep.
Shop stewards are employed by the company. But
That's
can
correct.
you help me with this, Mr. Resniewski?
Yep. So our position is we don't employ people as shop stewards as a job. We employ people to, you know, perform work on the construction project, and then they're elected into that position by their work group.
Then below the line...
So your point is this. The conception of a non-working steward is, if you like, almost a contradiction in terms. The company, an employer, not just your people, but any building construction company, would have a whole range of employees. If by chance, whether union-induced or by some internal process of spontaneous democracy, groups of workers wanted to elect a representative, that person might be called a shop steward, but the person would have two responsibilities. One was to the company to do the job they were being paid for. The other one was to make all reasonable representations on behalf of the individuals who wanted them to be made.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.